some good cheesecake.
I think we're back.
Are you
So,
serious that we actually?
I wouldn't lie about that. I would, but I didn't just then.
Dang, viewers, I'm so sorry.
I am sorry they're watching this. So you're gonna have to do it again. Whatever we just missed has to happen again.
It
You know
was
when
it
it
was
clipped?
graphic, Casey.
Yeah, it was.
I go back to the thing I just said.
Can't happen again. It was once in a lifetime.
Remember, if it doesn't happen twice, it's not true.
Right. Well,
I won't do it again.
All right.
I
Well,
feel like it's one of those things that the first time it was uncomfortable, the second time will be excruciating.
I don't see the problem.
Just, yeah, it was a bathing scene. If people just, I just feel like the more we don't talk about it, it gets weird. So I'm just gonna say that.
Anyway, so Tofi, what are you up to?
I don't know. I feel like there's a very recent part of my memory missing.
he just sat there in the blue screen for a few
I will. I will ask. I will ask Drox to describe in elaborate detail what happened for the last 5 minutes, as I had kind of zoned out.
It was just a graphic bathing scene, gratuitous, not appropriate for the stream, which is why the stream was shut down briefly.
Yes, they said the stream was dangerous, so bathing in the water in the village is probably a lot better. I don't believe in bathing. I have always thought that sometimes you get wet, and that's enough.
It's apparent.
No, I had
It's
never
fine.
had children.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I guess this is where we just all go our separate ways.
I don't think so. I think we are bound together now.
Oh, you mean by the tattoos?
Yeah. By our fate. We've
Does-
been called.
Does yours kind of itch? Is that part of the calling?
No, I think that might come with the bathing thing.
Oy.
Yeah.
Actually, while I'm in the bird bath
I stick my arm in the
by
bird
myself, can I check? I'm outside alone with the birds. But can I try to scrub off the tattoo?
Yeah, sure. You kind of use a little bit of cloth and try to scrub at it a little bit. It doesn't move. It does not appear to be ink on top of your skin, but rather something underneath.
Does it stay? If I move my muscle around, does it stay in the same spot, or does it kind of like stretch and stuff with my skin?
Yeah, it moves. It moves with your skin.
Okay. Does it hurt?
No, I mean it's a little bit. It hurts a little bit now because you've kind of scrubbed part of your armor off, but the tattoo itself does not appear
Okay.
to hurt.
Does it look like a symbol or anything that I recognize? Like, could I like guesstimate what it might mean?
Roll me an Arcana check.
I wonder if it stays if we chop our arms off.
Only one way to find out.
It's taking a moment to load.
It's gonna take a long time with my horns.
Okay. Hang on. I can't access my character sheet on D&D Beyond for some reason. It's not loading. What's going on?
Maybe it requires
Sorry.
a mouse pad.
I'm using a mouse pad. Okay, there we go. All right.
The anticipation is killing me.
Here you are.
All right, 11. Looking at it, it strikes. I mean, again, it is blurred almost, like it isn't quite clear. And so looking at it, it strikes you as being like they seem to be runes or some alphabet that you don't recognize. But beyond that, you're not really sure.
Gotcha. And I'll continue bathing.
Okay.
I have a little lump of soap in my bag that I have been using to like, it's getting smaller over time, but I like scoop off some each time and I
Just a little sliver.
yeah. Yeah. And then when I'm dry, I'll fly back inside and closed.
All right. I think I'm downstairs eating and drinking a very dainty cup of tea.
Yeah, so as you kind of make your way downstairs, Venman is nowhere to be seen, but there is kind of a very large half-orc man who's manning the bar. And as you kind of come up, he kind of just like looks you up and down and just says, "Breakfast."
3.
Yes, please.
And he disappears kind of into a back room. You hear pots and pans kind of banging around. And then 10-15 minutes later, just kind of very basic, like porridge, eggs, bacon, what looks like pretty freshly made biscuits. Come out and you each kind of get a plate. He provides tea or coffee, as is your pleasure. Doesn't really say anything else to you besides that.
I'm extraordinarily polite to him regardless.
He kind of acknowledges you with a nod, but does not seem to be a man of many words. And then returns to kind of manning the bar. At the moment, the kind of tavern part of the inn is pretty empty. There isn't really anybody else in here right now. Although as you guys sit down and begin to eat, Venman does reappear, still just kind of dressed in well-made but unostentatious clothing, clean apron over it. Seems to be just coming in from the outside and pulls off a cloak as she goes. And she's carrying a pineapple and kind of like cupped in one arm. And she kind of comes over to your table and she just sticks the pineapple down in front of Tofi and she says, "I was instructed to give that to you. Now I have. Stay right there. I'll be right back." And disappears into a back room.
Has Pax come down too?
Yeah, Pax kind of I forget what room he was in, but whoever was in the room with him, he was awake long before anybody else was, and he had opened the window and was kind of watching the street, just like chin kind of pillowed on his hands, mask still in place. But as you guys came down to eat breakfast, he followed.
Ooh, what's he gonna do when we eat? I'm gonna watch him very closely.
He gets a plate of his own and kind of puts things into very small bite-sized pieces and just like lifts the mask up a little bit and like sneaks it underneath.
Oh, so he's one of those types. I see.
I don't really know what that means.
Small, you know what they say? Never mind.
He's
one
just
of
one
those
of those small bite mask
Those
people.
portion control masters. Eden will sit on the table while we're eating so we can hear all the conversation easily.
Rude. I will put the pineapple on the stool.
Oh, the stool's coming with, yeah.
The stool goes everywhere.
I mean, you all have ridiculous things that you carry with you.
None of my stuff is ridiculous.
All your stuff is ridiculous, Edom. You're a few
It's
inches
just
tall.
small.
Right, which makes it ridiculous by virtue. All right. There's clearly a lot underfoot here today, and I think it's important that we keep our heads about us when we decide that we need to go to the next place that we do.
I think that's very wise.
You're all
Do you have a mind as
inspired.
to what this next place would be?
I think that there's a place in the mountains that no one's ever been before, because it hasn't been here before, and it might have fallen from the sky last night.
That sounds familiar. Are you thinking of Drathos or the other one?
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't it the one to the east of that hasn't been on the map?
Oh wait, it's circled on the map though, which means it is there. But
That's not so.
of all the places on this map, the one that hasn't been mentioned, tied for the most with the one that we just talked about, is that place to the south, the one that hasn't had anything bad happen there yet.
So
Silver
the ones
Keep.
that I remember are Silverkeep, Drathos, and Cainalura.
I think we're in. No,
We're in Ingerna,
we are still.
which we've been in for a week now. Last night was definitely the weirdest night I've had.
So, do you remember the runes on the monolith? The survivors of Canalora reborn.
Who's
That's us.
Cainalora?
Isn't that the place?
Wait, you think we're reborn? Hang on, that's a lot to drop on us before breakfast.
I'm
I mean,
done.
We're kind of mid-breakfast, actually, Pax says.
In breakfast. Breakfast time.
I mean, you're the only one that's in and amongst the breakfast.
I'm trying my best to keep my feet away from the food.
There's
But
a
I'm
biscuit.
clean. I promise I'm clean.
Right, you bathe with
I just
the birds.
Yes, they're very clean.
Right.
That's
You know
I'm
why
wearing
they're
my
so
clothes.
clean? You know how
Mhm.
bathing works. The water, you're dirty. You get in the water becomes dirty. You become clean. The
But the
water
birds splash it all out,
give you its
so it
cleanliness.
refills itself every time it rains.
Oh, I can smell you from here.
No, I think that's
I
you.
think that's the soap.
All right.
At least you can smell something.
I can smell things. We'll leave it at that for now.
So, do we... I mean, we're heading somewhere together, though, right?
Well,
That's
not
the
really. We
point.
don't have a plan yet.
Right, but like together as part of the plan, even though we haven't finished it.
Well, I mean, maybe we should figure this out first. Do you think if we got another tattoo on top of it, it wouldn't be so obvious?
I mean, I think we look pretty cool.
I wish I had chosen a different spot of my arm.
Mine looks sort of like a fat sea otter.
Make
Or
it
if you
dance.
flip it upside down, it's like a sea otter that's uncomfortable.
You have a very active imagination.
So,
I appreciate that.
were we supposed to meet with someone still? Are we still in trouble?
I think the government still wants to keep us down.
Oh, that sucks.
Right. They did bring my pineapple, though, so they can be reasoned with.
Yeah, I really wish I thought to ask for stuff last night. I was so dumbstruck.
I kind of tried to open the opportunity up. I'll take the lead in most of our negotiations from here on in, if you'd like.
I'd actually like to have a say in that too.
All right. I'll
But I won't be
keep that under
negotiating.
consideration. No, I mean, we
Right.
can all take turns. Whose turn is it today?
Definitely Edam's. So anyway,
All right, you're the negotiator today.
Okay. Okay.
Drax, what do you think?
I think I need another bathing scene.
The messiest breakfast eater ever. Just
Oh, it's everywhere.
Little known fact about hobgoblins, they bathe like 8 or 9 times a day.
True.
Just imagining you eating like.
Squeezing tomato down his chest right now.
I taste through my skin.
so acidic.
My body is covered in 1,000 taste buds.
I hate that.
Actually,
A square
he eats
inch.
from his chest. They don't have taste buds in their tongue. It's all of the chest.
Brings a whole new meaning to cuddling.
Oh.
Tune in here at Roll It Slant for alternate hobgoblin lore.
What do you mean, alternate? Alright, well, I mean, maybe we should just go find where all those government people live and talk to them there. It might be faster.
Okay, that's not policy. You know that even in the Feywild, that's not policy.
I sometimes like to see where people live. I'm sort of a celebrity gazer, if that. Do you remember when the third house of the Mushroom Kingdom came? And they were
I wasn't
all...
born yet.
Oh. Well, I guess that was several years ago. How old are you?
I'm not past 20 harvests?
Harvests.
I almost said moons, but I'm definitely older than 20 moons.
If you were 20 moons old, would you be 19 after yesterday?
Yes.
All right.
Sort of like the leap year situation where they skip a year, though.
I jumped over a whole year once.
That's
Okay.
just called being on a bender.
Oh, I know.
I do think that it's a terrible idea to go visit their homes. We should page them somehow. I'm sure that they have some kind of paging system in the city.
Like, or maybe
Um,
we could just ask Venman because she's right here.
That's probably a better idea. I'm just not used to
As-
dealing with people on a first name basis.
As you say that, Venman does in fact reemerge from the back room and
How
comes over and kind of
convenient.
pulls a chair over, and seats herself at your table and kind of looks around at all of you and says, "Well, now that you've all eaten something, I have a few questions."
I
Are we
slide
still in trouble?
the remainder of the breakfast food away from her.
Doesn't look like she was eyeing any of it.
Right?
Taking someone's food from them in their own. Anyway, Eden will stand.
I wouldn't say in trouble. I'm just we had this conversation very late at night beforehand, and I would just like to go over things one more time.
Edam's our
Okay.
spokesperson for the day.
I am the spokesperson. What questions do you have?
Well, you had mentioned that there was some sort of cult involved with whatever this blood ritual was.
Yes, it was something, penance? Penance? There were penance involved. I don't remember if that was the name or if that's just what those things were called hanging from the ceiling. There was 5, 6 people maybe there. Looked like some kind of club, maybe? Secret club underground.
They really liked this goddess person.
Just the names are all a bit scrambled in my head. There was a lot. I think Mistra was the goddess.
All right.
Oh, so there was actually 2 cults. Or maybe one wasn't a cult and one was just a study group or something. But there was
school
a
club, yeah.
Yes, near the river, the river that goes through town. If you go down underground following the river, there's all these doors, and then there's a little like study chamber, and then you go down further. It's like a wizard's tower, just like underground. And there was a cult in there that had raised some kind of ghost. And then deeper down at the bottom, we found the cult and the study group, and there were some dead people, and there were rifts to the Shadowfell, and everything was crazy.
There was a guy that disappeared.
Yeah, and a weasel, but we have him back now, I think.
Weasel did
The man had a
disappear.
weasel.
This man had a weasel.
All
As
right,
one.
this was different from the man you were talking about before.
Yes, a different man.
Not proven.
Not
And
proven, but
so
probable.
the disappearing man. What can you tell me about him?
He was kind of a dick.
Yeah,
His
he
name
was
is Moran.
Moron.
Moran.
Yes.
Yes. I think he was bald, but that could have been projection. I'm not sure. He seemed bald in my mind.
He had kind of a bold attitude about him.
Yeah, he did. And he was wearing robes, and in this cult. He was standing, everyone else in the room was on the ground or bleeding out, so that tells me that he's probably the one who did all this or orchestrated it or something. And we confronted him. Pinthea, please.
Oh, everybody seemed really afraid of him.
Yes, they did, except for Tofi.
Was not afraid at all.
She seemed very unafraid.
Not a great hugger.
And so, what else can you tell me about him? What was his purpose? What was he trying to accomplish?
Weighed about 173 pounds.
Well, there was this letter.
Okay.
and I pull out the letter that we got.
Okay.
One from Martin or Jonathan?
Oh no, I wouldn't share those. Those are secret.
Okay, good. I was hoping that would stay.
It's like, sure, we did read through somebody's private diary, but it's just between us and the
I know.
Between us.
I just right. Like I'm just saying, Vinman, if you ever meet someone named Martin and Jonathan, and it seems like they need like a romantic dinner, if you could give them one on the house and say this is from Panthea, and then
Maybe include a pineapple too.
right, like some
nice-
cocktails and like things like that. Because I
Mhm.
mean, if they want to, if they're not into it, then just don't feed them.
You should serve them.
But
at
we
a
did find
table.
another letter. Yes,
Yes.
a table would be good.
Yeah,
Table
on
for
the
two.
house would be uncomfortable.
Yes.
I'll keep that in mind.
We did find another letter though. It was I don't remember exactly what was in it, but Panthea knows because she has it.
Yes. Between Moran and this woman named Cassandra, and they also mentioned somebody named Ix, and they were talking about something happening in Drathos, which that's where that terrible thing happened, right? Like all those buildings like went down.
Yes, where information is it's a little bit information is still trickling in. I think that we're expecting some sort of envoy later today from Drathos. But yes, there was quite a serious explosion in the city.
They also said too, maybe you should be suspicious of people. Wait a minute, are you a governor, a teacher, or a plebe? Are you any of those three things?
The plebe is a bad word. You can't say that around plebeians.
Oh, it's in the letter. I wasn't sure.
You can't say that word.
I won't say it.
I am a person.
You do seem suspicious.
Right. But I'm just saying that I think some people that are kind of playing religious leader type roles or some types of roles might be a little behind the scenes suspicious.
If you know what we mean.
Well, I mean, if I'm following you, you're actually making a fairly serious accusation.
All religion is suspicious.
There may be some intrigue.
I don't. I just hold the letter for her to read.
Okay. She takes it and reads it over.
Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not like bandying about anything, but this guy was not great.
Can I watch her face as she reads it?
Yes. Would you like to roll an insight check?
I would.
Okay, you can roll an insight check.
Can I just watch her face?
Yes, you can do that. That's
Can
a
I
free
watch
action.
her face?
Can I take her out to the bird bath?
I want to watch Pax eat.
Pax is still being very careful to make sure that his
18.
his mask does not ever at any point go above his chin. So with an 18, watching her as she reads through this letter, she is doing a reasonably good job of schooling her expression, but as the more that she reads, the paler that she gets. She seems and kind of like and it's the sort of thing that tips you off in it, and kind of like thinking back over the conversation. The more that she heard about Moran, the more the tenser she seemed to get as well, almost just like tenser and kind of on edge. Just kind of the more the conversation steered towards him. So she as she finishes, she kind of lays it down. She's like, "Oh yes, I mean I do see what you mean. I suppose I can raise this with the council."
Do you? And I don't mean to be overly suspicious, but do you feel like you can trust most of the council?
I mean, I trust them in so much as all of us have been members of, have lived in Ingerna for many years, and I believe that all of them have the best interests of the city at heart. We may disagree sometimes on what that means, but I think that's just a part of governance.
That sounds like what I know too.
And Ulrich himself, I mean, we have a new governor every 2 years, but I know Ulrich to be a good man. He's led the guard well in the year that he's had the governorship.
Okay.
Who was the previous governor?
Previous governor, I believe her name was Eliandra. She was a druid, recently moved here from Eleonora. Has returned there since.
What about the one before that?
I think his name was Kevin.
Aye. And before
The
Kevin?
land of McLeod.
Yeah. Fine composer.
I couldn't tell if that was me like fishing for information, accidentally coming across improv, or if it was going to be like relevant information. I'm so sorry if you had to scramble for a name.
I'm always scrambling for names.
I've only been in Indiana for a week, so I don't know a lot about the history or the culture, but are there any kind of dissent situations or anything around here? Is there any kind of political, cultural, religious tension or, typical civilization things?
Defeat and Kelter are assholes, if that's what you're asking. And I think that the reaction last night was much about the fact that most of you do not necessarily present as nobility more than anything else. Indiana itself, though, is, I mean, it's kind of, it not only is it a trade city, but Ornthos is a mismatch of a bunch of different cultures. I mean, its origins come from a group of elven clans and some human settlers who came south from Ybor many years ago, and Ornthos was born from the alliance between those two separate groups, and has been. I mean, we've been heavily influenced by, I think, Tyrodos in a lot of ways too. We've always had a strong relationship with Drathos, so there's, as they say, if the forest accepts you, anyone can be of Ornthos.
What it is? What is it about that? You know, like we found another letter, the details of which I can't tell you, but there was a forest mentioned in there too, and it said that it ate or almost ate people. What's up with that? That seems like a Feywild thing, not a mortal plain thing.
The Earthen Forest it's seeped in magic. There are rumors that there are places within the forest itself where you can slip between the Prime Material Plane and the Feywild. There's always been strong links between the two. It's an ancient forest, and if trees go for long enough, eventually they become something a little bit different than
taller trees.
Cynthia,
yes.
Is that where you found? Is that where we met, or is that somewhere else?
I mean, it's not too far outside of here, so I imagine that, on the outskirts of that is probably where we met.
Okay. Well.
Yes, I mean, the forest can be a dangerous place to walk if it hasn't accepted you as its own.
Okay.
Are we free to leave this city?
We would rather if you stayed in town for another day or two, as we're in the process of our own investigation of what happened last night. I mean, there's a manhunt on right now for a member of this cult that seems to have slipped by us. So...
Do you mean Moran or another person?
No, it was a tiefling by the name of Requiem.
That's a scary sounding name.
Apparently he was Moran's right-hand man.
Odd that he wasn't there when he was doing important things.
As a DM note, you did see a tiefling down there.
We did? Okay.
Yes.
Definitely wasn't present.
He may have been one of those quieter types that don't really like to talk.
I mean, most people get pretty quiet when you drain out half their blood.
There
That's
were
true.
3 people who were kind of upright when you came in, one of whom was Martin, and then there was a half-elf and there was a tiefling as well.
I knew we should have killed all of them.
Well, I mean, is this something we could do?
I mean, if you think you'll have luck tracking them, I certainly would be appreciated.
I mean, if you tell us where they are, we can go there.
Well, the thing about a manhunt is that it's usually set off by not knowing where someone is.
That is true.
But I will say this. You're looking at a bunch of places that haven't found them yet. So if you tell us the place that you haven't looked, that's probably where they are.
That's very good.
It's very incredible how you can be both exactly right and entirely wrong at the same time.
So, do you have any boars for the manhunt? That's what we used to use.
Boars? No.
They're very good at smelling.
Yes.
Yes, they're also very large and tend to gore people with their tusks.
Right,
Not if
they
you
bring them
hold
right
onto them
back to you.
properly.
Oh, pour that. You can use methods vary.
If you put them in a saddle with a bit in the bridle, they're fine.
Right. They love to ride on other things. A boar on the horse is the best tracking you can get.
Right. Usually we use dogs.
But do you have any boars?
We don't
I
have
would
any
be
boars.
ready. All right. No rent a boar.
We would be happy to help you find your man. Just as long as, and I don't mean to use this as a bargaining chip or anything. This isn't any kind of negotiation. This is just me and my party.
Bargaining and negotiating with you.
This is just me asking if we could potentially not be in trouble anymore after we help you with this, because I really don't like being in trouble.
And pineapples.
We'll do everything.
in pineapples?
Oh, and spell scrolls, if you have them.
Well, I more just care about not being in trouble anymore, but
I more care about
those
the
would be nice too.
pineapples. And Panthea more cares about the spell scrolls.
Oh,
We're not quite
and
unified
Drax-
in our priorities yet.
Drox cares about having gold for his weasel, because his weasel isn't really here sometimes and it needs gold to come back. I'm not sure what kind of relationship that is, but it sounds
You
bad.
have to pay the weasel to come back?
I'm in debt to the weasel. Please help me.
Don't worry,
He
it's
has-
not a metaphor.
He has my family.
You
So
know
maybe
what? Drax is a man of very few words, so when he speaks, you know it. It's
Very
really
important. Yes. So all
Okay.
I'm asking for is that we're out of trouble.
Okay, again, you're not strictly speaking in trouble.
But it feels like we are.
She
really
just
feels
kind
like
of
we are.
reaches over and gently pats your little hand. It's
Little-
okay, dear.
Flower hat just sinks down on my head.
Look, at the moment, we're holding most of the members of Pinion that we were able to round up.
Pinion, that was it. I called it pendant, but that's not what it was. It was pinion. That sounds right.
Yes. We're currently holding them in the...
Good detective work.
There's a lot of names. I'm learning a lot of names that I didn't know before. Just bear with me. I didn't mean to lie. I was trying to tell the truth.
It's okay.
I was trying to tell the truth.
Where they're currently being held at the guard garrison. There are some of them that needed some medical assistance, and so they're in the infirmary. The rest are being held at the garrison. It is possible two of them were relatively forthcoming, although they did seem very on edge because they were being questioned by Zala, who can cut a little bit of an intimidating figure.
Who's Zala?
Is that the Goliath woman?
Yes, that was
Okay.
That's our captain of the guard.
I thought she was nice.
Yes, but she is almost 7 feet tall and carries a great sword. So,
It was overrated.
She looks even taller to me.
I'd imagine so. So it's possible that if people who perhaps look slightly less threatening talk to them, they might be able to find out something that we haven't been able to get out of them yet. I believe Zala is back at the garrison now. And I think Alric is there as well, so he may be able to get you access.
Okay. Well, we'd be happy to help. I'd be happy to help. More than happy to help. Elated to help,
What is
even.
more than happy? That sounds like some sort of dangerous
Joyful.
mental condition.
Ecstatic. Rapturous.
Exalted.
Exalted.
Drunk.
Exhilarated. You can go on forever. Anyway, I would be exhilarated to be out of trouble and to help you.
I'm glad that that's the order of things here.
If you could just tell us where to go again? The
Our
garrison?
garrison, yes.
The garrison.
And
Okay.
you sure you don't know where this manhunt guy is?
No, that's the problem.
Alright, we'll look for him.
Okay.
We'd appreciate that. Well then, and she stands, and kind of gives you all a nod and heads off kind of back to the back room.
Did she give the letter back before? Or did
Yeah,
she keep it?
she left it on the table.
Okay. Well, I think that went well. The negotiations went well,
It did.
I think.
We offered to do a bunch of stuff for them and made absolutely no demands in return.
Isn't that what negotiation is?
I think so.
Okay, well, we did it then.
Alright. I scoop up my pineapple and my stool. See, you guys have to carry shit. I can just pick up whatever random items I want. Man. No mechanical penalty for my character. And I will confidently leave the tavern and head left.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll follow you left.
She seems confident.
She does
I'm willing to
seem
follow
confident.
that.
Me
Okay,
too.
so heading left out of the tavern, you find yourself wandering through increasingly narrow streets, and you find, and kind of eventually, one of them leads you out towards kind of things kind of open up a little bit, and you find yourselves on the shore of the river. Looks like you've reached a point where you can see, kind of looking back, the edge of the series of almost like solid set of bridges that crosses the river, kind of forming a part of the city itself. But you can see where that kind of ends. It looks like there's you can kind of see this, it's like this stone edifice, and then a pair of gates that are closed at the moment. And here there's a series of docks that kind of spread out along the riverbanks. Looks like you are in a warehouse district of some kind.
I love ducks.
One solitary duck waddles past.
You said there were ducks.
Wow.
They
They're
said
so
there were ducks.
Ducks.
It's that
You know
Arizona
the ducks that you tie ships to?
That's so much fun. That's a great idea.
Why are we here?
This is where the dock is.
Oh, is that where we were going?
Yes.
Sometimes the garrison is in the dock, apparently.
I would like to look for anyone who is a dragonborn.
Okay. Glancing around, you do see, after peering around for a moment, there is a silver dragonborn, kind of dressed in sailor's clothes, very practical, seems to have a cutlass strapped to her side, and is in the process of kind of strolling past with a half-elven woman, also kind of dressed similarly, has a broad kind of like hat with a big feather in it. They seem to be chatting as they're walking down towards the docks.
Found him.
Not looking for a dragonborn.
Sophie was, apparently.
Oh,
I
you
thought-
were?
I thought the manhunt was for a dragonborn.
No, it was a tiefling.
All right.
You found
Can get
The
away
dragonborn,
this
though.
time. It's a good thing we didn't see any tieflings here. Could have gotten ugly.
I've always pictured manhunts being faster and more intense than this, so I don't think we're in a manhunt yet.
I start running off.
Rick, I shouldn't have instigated. Okay. Oh. Well, maybe. Okay. So we need to go to the garrison. Tofi's just going quickly towards the garrison.
Is she?
Can I go to the garrison?
I'm heading south now.
Okay.
I am gonna head towards the garrison.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow Cynthia to the garrison
Okay.
because I don't want to show that I don't know where I'm going.
How are you going to figure out where the garrison is?
I'm gonna ask that nice sailor we just passed. I'm gonna ask her.
So yeah, going up, seems a little bit alarmed to be accosted, but once you kind of explain, she directs you towards the northern end of the city.
Okay. Tofi, we're going north.
I'm gone. I have a 55-foot movement speed.
Oh my!
I'm 110 feet away in 6 seconds.
She needs to just get her extra energy out. A lot of the satyrs
You'll
and
see me in
pawns that I
about a
knew,
day.
yeah,
Oh my
would
God.
just bolt sometimes. You just need to let them run. They'll come back to you eventually.
I'm on a manhunt.
They have a lot of extra energy. That
Alright,
was court policy.
So Tofi is headed south. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm following Pinthia and Drox, who I think know where they're going.
I don't know what Drox is gonna do.
I feel like out of all of us, Drox would know what a garrison looks like.
Well, Drox is from the caves. All garrisons in caves look like caves.
Well, you have a better idea than I do. Our garrisons were like made of stumps.
Drox would ask a guard, like
What
a
if-
sane person.
What if Gary never married?
It is easy enough to find a guard. They, especially around here, they patrol
Are you
pretty
Gary?
regularly.
You Gary's son? Psychic damage for everyone.
No, please, that's my father.
I'm Gary's son, Junior. So it is easy enough once you're kind of put on the right path to start making your way north and find your way to the garrison, which is set kind of on the outskirts of the city towards the north. Tofi, where are you going and what are you doing?
I would like to explore the entire city and search for tieflings.
Okay, where are you? Are you going south?
I'm going until I see a tiefling, and then I will randomly change direction until I find another one. Unless they match the description that I don't remember of the tiefling I saw.
Roll me 1d100.
There's 100 tieflings here.
Oh my god.
Got a hit. 47.
81.
Dang, that's a lot.
That's
You
either good or bad.
Running through the city, you see 3 tieflings of various descriptions.
Alright. Are any of them the tiefling I'm looking for? Keeping in mind I don't remember the tiefling I'm looking for.
In that case, you have no goddamn idea.
Alright.
Roll to remember.
I believe it was a male tiefling. Are any of them male?
One of them is male.
Alright, that's the one.
Okay, so as you're running through the city, you do see kind of a stockier male tiefling, has kind of curling ram's horns, dark red skin, seems to be dressed in reasonably nice clothing, unarmed, and seems to be heading towards, at this point you've reached a portion of the city right by the river. There's kind of a small open square that has a fountain in the middle that's surrounded by kind of boxes with flowers planted in them. And you can see across the square, kind of built over the river, there is a very large building, the tallest one you have seen so far, kind of built of pale pink stone. And it has large windows kind of periodically around it. And you can see that above the doorway, there are 3 symbols, which you recognize as being the symbols for the creator gods. And then kind of right above this big open doorway that you can see inside opens up onto a large open space. But in the center of this courtyard, there is this kind of larger tiefling man who has stopped and is inspecting one of the rose bushes that is growing in a box near the fountain.
This NPC's about to have the time of his life.
Somebody's going in the fountain, I suspect.
All right. Remember what the frogs told you. Doesn't matter if they're guilty as long as you can convince them they are. All right. Hey, you with the rose bush, put it down.
You could see he was like leaning down, like smelling one of the roses, and he just goes,
Nope. You don't stop to do that here. I'm unfortunately here to tell you that you are under arrest.
"Pardon?"
I'm unfortunately here to tell you that you're under arrest.
Oh, I haven't done anything wrong.
Right, that's for the courts to decide.
That's not how that works.
I think that's... Listen, I'm not
Who
a
are
liar.
you?
My name is Tofi, and you are in a cult.
I most certainly am not. Under whose authority are you doing this?
The cities. I have expressed orders to hunt people who are in cults.
Roll me a deception check.
No, I don't think that's deception at all.
It's deception.
She
What?
firmly believes that.
A 6?
Believing a thing does not make it true.
Yes, it does. Wait.
If you say it twice.
Hold on. I have been sent to hunt people in cults. No, it's persuasion.
It's not. You said, you're not dressed like a guardsman.
If I were dressed like a guardsman, you would have seen me coming.
I saw you coming anyway. You ran up to me and started yelling.
Exactly, but you're still here. You want to try to run?
He's beginning to look around, and you are in fact beginning to draw a little bit of a crowd.
Fine. I sit on my stool. Does this make you more comfortable?
No, nothing about the situation makes me comfortable.
All right. Is that because you're a cultist?
No, it's because you accosted me out of nowhere, and now you're calling me a cultist.
I haven't charged you anything. You're a cultist.
I'm not.
You are.
I'm not.
Are you?
No.
That seems like what a cultist would say. Why are you here? Huh? This seems like a place a cultist would go an awful lot. You know what cultists like as well? Blood. You know what that bush you were looking at reminds me a lot of? The tulip groves back home, which smelled delicious. And also were covered in blood in the great massacre of the Red Dwarfs.
He at this point he started like looking around and he's just sort of like, help somebody.
They can't help you.
me.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna need you to come with me.
No, I'm not going with you anyplace. I'm leaving. He starts backing up.
Listen, I didn't want to have to do this, but I can carry you all the way back to the place that I don't know where I'm taking you yet. I think it's the garrison. Why don't you just walk with me to the garrison, confess your guilt to being a cultist?
I'm not guilty of anything.
Listen. You don't have to convince me. You have to convince them.
You have no legal right to detain me.
I don't need a legal right to detain you. They need a legal right. I'm just trying to do my job here. Level with me a little bit. We're both working people. You work for whatever abomination god that you're worshipping in some sort of evil, sadistic way, and I'm casually trying to bring you to authorities to persecute you for your beliefs. We're basically the same in all this. Here, have a bite of pineapple. We'll go over to the garrison and we'll get this all cleared up. I want to see you clear your name as much as anyone else. Why not? It's delicious.
You just ate a mouthful of spines. I'm being hunted by a crazy woman. He starts backing up more and then turns around and makes a break for one of the alleyways leading off of the square.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Yes,
Does
young lady.
That one that The one that just ran off. I need snap judgment, cultist or no.
He seemed like a fine, upstanding
Like
gentleman.
a cultist. That's all I needed to hear.
You can see the guy you've kind of grabbed is like this very, very elderly looking half-elven man who's just kind of like peering up at you with very rheumy eyes.
All right. I will continue my manhunt.
And as this kind of this scene has drawn enough people that you see coming out of the front doors of this building,
no.
the familiar figure of Kristoff, who is one of the council members, just in a half-elven
Is
man
that the
dressed.
travelers?
Yes.
Cleric? Okay.
Is he a
I remember
tiefling?
him.
He is not. He is a half-elven man, kind of very long, dirty blonde hair, very neatly trimmed goatee, dressed in brocades and silks, in shades of silver and blue, although he's wearing kind of, in sharp contrast to that, a pair of kind of very practical muddy boots. Looks like traveler's footwear.
Cultist footwear.
Has the symbol of the traveler hanging from around his neck, and he kind of like walks out and seems to have caught the tail end of your altercation with this tiefling, and kind of crosses his arms across his chest and strolls up to you and says, "What are you doing exactly?"
Sorry, official city business.
I am official city business.
Not mine.
You're accosting people in the street.
Oh, I didn't charge him a thing.
He
At this point,
Jesus.
Rory just comes in and starts beating Casey.
Listen, there's somebody very dangerous in your city, and I've been tasked with finding them. I can talk to you, or I can find them. The only way to find them is to talk to the fine people of this city, and have them convince me that they're not the cultist I'm looking for.
That doesn't seem like a very practical way to find or not
Listen,
find cultists. Actually, it seems like a
don't-
pretty practical way to not find them.
How would you suggest I find a cultist then?
Investigate literally any line of inquiry related to cultists.
Are you a cultist?
No.
Prove it.
I mean,
Why are your boots so dirty? None of these other people have dirty boots.
Birdie Doots. Birdie Doots.
oh, well, there's a garden out back that I tend to, so...
A cultist garden.
No, just a regular one.
All right, that'll be all.
The cultist garden is underground.
Good to know. How do you know that?
Clerics are attuned to many of the mysteries of the universe.
All right. Well, maybe you should figure out how to clean off your dates.
Why don't I give you a walk back to where your friends are?
I'll race you.
Okie dokie.
If I beat you there, you have to give me a pineapple.
All right.
I'm gone.
Okay. Where are you running to?
I don't know. I have no idea where they are.
So
5.
you're going to 5.
Which is
Or going at 5. It's a little unclear.
that's southwest.
Oh,
Okay,
great.
so you head southwest into the city. The rest of you, what are you guys up to?
Sorry.
I'm
I'm still,
desperately looking for this garrison. I'm
still
looking
recovering from Birdie Doots.
Me too. My eyes teared up multiple times.
So given directions, the garrison itself is not particularly difficult to find as you head north on the city on one of the main roads that leads out, and find yourself soon enough coming to a large fenced-in area. You can see there are 2 guards standing guard outside of the front gates, kind of looking inside. It's kind of tall wrought iron gates built around this compound of a set of 3 or 4 buildings, all kind of very utilitarian, built of just kind of rough stone. And walking up towards the gates, one of the guards kind of straightens up. This guard being a elven woman with kind of very short cropped hair, seems to be wearing short swords on her belt. Kind of steps forward and says, "What's your business here?"
We've come to help with the manhunt. The manhunt.
You said it loudly the first time, so whispering it the second time.
Myself.
Right.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Is there someone that you report to?
We talked to... Thea, what was her name? Venman. We talked to Venman earlier this morning and also a little later this morning, and we were offered the opportunity to go on the manhunt for that tiefling.
Yes, Requiem.
And Moran.
All right. Wait here for just a moment. And you can see her disappear kind of further back into the compound. The other guard who's standing here, who's just kind of a human man with a kind of scraggly beard, graying, just kind of like leans on a spear, just kind of like watches you with very narrowed eyes. Maybe 5 minutes pass, and then you see the elven woman coming back with Alric in tow. And you can see them coming, him looking kind of very concerned, and then it's like he sees the 3 of you and then kind of relaxes a bit and then kind of waves you inside and says, it's all right, let them in. And the guard with the spear kind of stands to the side. The other woman also returns to her guard post, and he kind of waits for you to walk up to him and says, so, here to add a little bit of power to the manhunt, then?
Yes. We're missing one, but I think she's coming back soon. I hope.
Any time now. Just any time.
She just needed to stretch her legs a little bit.
Yeah.
Right, I hear that satyrs have to get their energy out on a regular basis, or else it just stops up.
One more joint than most creatures do in their lower legs, so they have to stretch that joint.
It's true.
And sometimes one more joint than most creatures do in their mouth.
So, I mean, have you had any leads, or have the scholars? Let's go. I think calling them cultists put some kind of negative connotations, as most cults have a negative connotation. Other people just call it going to church, but when you call it a cult, it doesn't sound great. So these scholars, I think, that got duped into being in a cult. Does that sound right?
I mean, it's a little bit. The 2 that we have that are conscious seem to be scared relatively shitless, so they've been cooperative to a point, but it's a little bit difficult to get a coherent narrative out of them.
Was it Martin and Jonathan?
I believe that was their names, yes.
What's their vibe with each other?
Terrified. The fact that they're being questioned by guards, I think.
Oh, but are they terrified of each other?
I have not been paying an overdue amount of attention to their interpersonal dynamics.
And Thea.
Yes.
I don't think now's the time.
Well, when?
Maybe later.
Best sex.
Dangerous times sometimes can make the best of bonds.
That's true. Yeah. Once they get over their mutual trauma and blood loss, maybe then.
Yeah.
But maybe not right now.
Okay. Anyway, can we talk to them? Because we kind of helped them. We were some of the first friendly faces they saw.
Perhaps you'll have better luck with them than we did. Sure. He gestures for you to fall in behind him.
God, Thea, should I be big or small for this?
I mean, I think you're fine. Drox, would you find someone more reassuring if they were large or small?
I don't think height has anything to do with how reassuring somebody is.
So be whatever size you want.
I think that I'll stay this size for right now.
That's good. You seem most comfortable in this size. When you get big, sometimes you're like a young fawn.
Actually, I know exactly how we can make you reassuring.
Yeah.
Can you give me a... How many minutes from now are you going to be reassuring?
Approximately when we get up the stairs and see Martin and Jonathan, so I would guesstimate maybe 1 to 2 minutes.
Excellent. Hold that thought.
Okay.
Keep holding.
We're going to do it in real time.
Continue to hold.
It's Elric continues to lead you through into a 2-story building, kind of in the center of the compound, which coming inside, it seems to be barracks of some kind, leads you up the stairs.
1 minute and 10 seconds.
Coming down to a room kind of, it seems to be in the... Yes?
When we are beneath the 30-second mark, please inform me.
Okay, I'll keep counting.
So coming up through the hallway, coming up to a door that has a guard positioned outside of it, seems to be an interior room. There's no windows on it. And you can see the guard kind of nod to Ulrich and step aside. And Ulrich kind of gestures you forward and sees they're in there.
I think we're under the 30-second mark now.
Okay. Drox is going to cast Reduce on...
How much smaller do I get?
Well, you get quite a bit smaller.
I become subatomic. Okay.
Right.
Multiplied by 8. Okay, so...
No.
Well,
So
that's a large.
You're looking at enlarge, so reduce. The target size is halved in all dimensions.
It's
and
still
its
one
weight is
multiplied by the opposite of, so multiplied by 1.
This reduction decreases its size by 1 category. What category are you currently?
I am currently tiny, so I become atomic at that point.
I believe you get to microscopic before atomic.
You are beneath tiny.
Okay, I'm extremely small.
Yeah.
My voice also goes up.
Having regrets now.
You did this. Are you a willing creature, Edom?
I'm expecting Drox to do something that will make me reassuring, so I am willing for any influence at this moment.
Okie dokie. So as I presume Penthe is at the front of this, opens the door and Edom just goes whoop.
All of a sudden my shoulder
I actually
gets really
think I might have
lighter.
been. Yeah, I might have been on your shoulder, standing up and holding onto your hair.
Go get him, Tiger.
I can't even hear him.
The door swings open and you see sitting on the bed, kind of, they seem to be sitting right next to each other on the bed on the far corner of the room. The room itself just has like kind of 2 beds. It looks like it's a barracks, very bare bones. There's footlockers at the bottom of the bed. Both the lids are up. There's nothing in them. And they seem to be bolted to the floor. And then there's kind of 2 beds. They're both sitting on one bed, kind of far off to the side next to each other. Their heads kind of shoot up as you come in. And Ulrich stays outside and seems to kind of try to stand off to the side so that they can't see him. And the door, as you step inside, closes behind you.
You feel one strand of your hair, Penthea, and then it doesn't. There's no more tension. It's gone.
Did you pull my hair out of my head?
No, it's just. I used up all my strength. I'm done. I'm floating somewhere passively behind you.
I am gonna bamf out Hex and be like, do you want to sit on top of his head? Yes, okay.
They're looking up at you, just like...
I just had a realization. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
When he's this small, we can have him ride the weasel into battle, and it will look completely reasonable. I felt I had to share this image.
Thank you. I actually don't know how. I think I would be 1/8 of like 8 inches, 1 inch tall.
Well, you only get half your dimensions.
Yeah, you're half the dimensions. You're 1/8 of the weight.
Oh, its weight is reduced. Okay,
so
so
you're 4 inches.
Okay, gotcha. That's cool. All right.
That's That's Weasel Rider level.
That's perfect. Yeah. That's perfect. It's even better than the height I am right now.
It's the height you wish you were.
Yeah, that is the height I wish I was. 8 is just an awkward height to be, you know?
Yeah, it's just...
I'd rather be 4. Anyway.
But if you want to get on... my plan is that if you wanted to get on Hex, you could get closer to them to talk without me, like, leaning over, or you know, so, like, if you could be closer to them. You'll stay right here? Okay. Jonathan, Martin, I know it looks like I'm talking to myself, but, Edom is here, too. Do you remember Edom?
we didn't catch any of your names last time.
Oh, hi! I'm Pythia. I put out my hand to shake it.
And Jonathan kind of, after a moment, kind of stands up and shakes your hand.
Okay. This is Drox.
Hello.
Offers a hand to shake yours as well.
I offer a hand. A weasel pokes out.
Gosh, the weasel sleeve trick never gets old.
He kind of like yanks his hand back, just like in surprise.
And then this is Edom.
I'm just gonna talk at my normal. It's gonna hurt my throat, so I assume that he's talking at that pitch.
Edom is his own person. He's not like a pet. Just
I'm
so
real.
You know.
I'm real. I'm a real
boy.
I'm a real boy.
Copyright.
Disney is coming for us.
It's been a trip, guys.
The mouse snipers are out.
I'll see you from the Disney gulags.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
I mean, I'm not. Name's Jonathan. This is Martin. I'm not sure how you know our names.
Well, like your names are on your bunks. Stuff that was in your bunks.
Oh, so you went through our personal possessions.
No, everything was just thrown about in your room. I don't know if you saw it, but it was all everywhere. So we could see everything. And, except for your underwear. Don't worry, we didn't see that. We went straight down, down to you all. And we're here now, and we have some questions for you.
Well, as long as you didn't see our underwear.
Definitely didn't see your underwear.
I didn't pay any attention to your underwear.
Are you feeling all right, though? It seems like you lost a lot of blood. And I know for any people of any size, losing a lot of blood is a big deal.
And as you say any size, you pop back to your normal size because it only lasts 1 minute.
It suddenly seems much deeper and more authoritative.
Oh,
this is Tiny Cop, Small Cop investigation.
He has a voice crack when this happens, but it soon goes back to,
Well, I mean,
questions.
We talked to the guards, but I mean, I guess we can answer your questions as well.
I just have
tiredly sits back down on the bed.
I don't want to wear you out. I know that questioning is a lot.
There's a tiefling there too. Did he do anything to you?
I mean, it was, technically speaking, we did agree to everything that we did. We just didn't think it was going to go quite this far.
What did you agree to? What was the terms and conditions that you agreed to?
Well, I mean,
you should always read those before you check it.
Read the fine print. Well, there was, the plan was to do this ritual, and it was supposed to be a process of revelation to build the pillar, do a little bit of blood magic, just a little bit, and then revelation.
Hey.
And then it turned out to be a lot of blood, and Morin started killing people, and things just got a little bit out of control.
Was he one of your teachers? Or a student?
No, it was, I mean, Opinion wasn't anything more than just a kind of a small group of like-minded people. And Adelaide was the oldest of us. She was kind of the leader. And she introduced Morin to the rest of us, said that he was an arcanist devoted to Mistra from Ebor, and that he would be able to teach us things that were beyond our beyond what we'd been able to do before. And so, of course, I mean, we leapt at the chance.
Just out of curiosity, what were you able to do before that you wanted to do more of?
I mean, minor rituals, seances, divination, that sort of thing.
Did you ever talk to do a seance and ever talk to a spirit who was a worshipper of Istis?
I mean, in the time I was part of Pinion for maybe a year. In that time, we did 7 or 8 seances. Mostly, it was people attempts to contact clerics and that type of thing. Mostly adherents of Mistra, although I mean, the Mistra has her own kind of deep connections to the heirs of Shar. For Istis is one. I don't really recall if there was one specifically that we contacted who was a cleric of Istis.
We encountered her based on whatever seance you'd left behind.
I mean, it's possible that Morin did something, or some of the more powerful amongst us. I mean, Kay and Requiem were more powerful than I ever was.
Who was that first person?
Kay. She's I'm not really sure where she is. She's I guess kind of a cleric in her own right. From south of the mountains somewhere. I'm not really sure. She was kind of standoffish.
And what were you trying to do with these divinations and rituals, and what was the purpose? Were you just trying to say hi to these clerics, or were you trying to do something else?
I mean, knowledge is the ultimate good. It's the ultimate thing to strive for.
Right.
I mean, I like knowing things too, but I don't know if I've ever would have done. Although technically, I did do a blood ritual. Oh no!
It's okay. A little blood never hurt anybody.
A lot of blood can't hurt people.
That's probably what they told them.
But a little bit is probably okay.
Okay.
Sometimes.
So, Requiem, do you happen to know if where he where did he come from?
I mean, I think Requiem was, I don't know, he struck me as somebody who never necessarily stayed in one place for a lot of time. I think that he studied briefly at some schools in Tiradas somewhere. I don't really remember which one. My impression was always that he got kicked out for being a little bit... The magic he was doing wasn't entirely copacetic.
What did he look like other than being a tiefling and a man?
Kind of purplish skin, black horns, kind of.
Why did I know? I don't remember the description, but I remember that he was purple.
I didn't actually describe him last time.
Okay, maybe I just had this purple image in my head.
Yeah. Kind of spiraling black horns, long dark hair. Or I guess not super long, like chin length.
So medium.
Medium.
Medium length. black hair. Was he mean or nice or quiet?
I mean, I don't think I would describe him as nice. He was Morin liked him because he had his own dabblings in blood magic, I think, before anything that Morin suggested. So they seemed to get along well, did some sort of whatever research Morin was doing, he seemed to be involved in it. Adelaide, I think after a certain point, looking back on it now, I think maybe regretted introducing Morin. She was never super comfortable with blood magic. She saw it as kind of a shortcut that had just as much potential to backfire on people as it did to allow people to do magic that would be normally beyond their grasp. But we were in too deep by the time we were thinking about that sort of thing.
Are you feeling okay now?
I mean, I'm feeling like I have a lot of cuts on the inside of my arm and I almost died, but aside from that, peachy.
Okay.
And like you went through it together though, right?
I suppose, I mean, we both did almost bleed out on the ground. So, yep.
I mean, it's going to be really important for you to, like, have a support network with each other. That's all. I'm just saying, like, if you've gone through trauma, like, you want to make sure you have
someone to heal your scars with.
Yeah.
And
you know,
are you Martin
and professional
or
counseling
Jonathan?
too. So.
Yeah. Are you Martin or Jonathan?
I'm Jonathan, that's Martin.
Okay. Martin, thank you for your assistance too. Your contribution was invaluable.
Thanks.
Thank you for your time.
Alright. Nods and goes back down next to Martin.
I couldn't think of a good way to end that, Bynthia.
I don't either. Yeah. Trox, was there anything we missed? Other than everything?
I don't know. I feel like I was uncomfortable as they was. I was on. Good what?
Was my voice cracked that bad? It sounded like it was really bad.
No, I think it was more awkward because we told them that we went through their things.
Well, they were everywhere.
I think the lessons we've learned here are: don't go through people's diaries. It's pretty fucked up.
Are you guys having this conversation in the room?
No, I mean, we've like
yeah, we
we've left.
And
yeah,
we need to go smaller.
Smaller.
I think
if you were smaller, they would have been.
There's a certain point where the air gets so heavy
I would have
in
been
my
more
lungs.
comfortable.
And as you kind of are having this conversation, Alric kind of comes back up. He's like, "So did you find out anything new?"
I mean, I don't know what you knew before, but I don't feel like we found out a lot.
Okay.
I mean, like, you tell me what you know. And I tell him what we found out. Is that anything new? Do you know anything different than this?
I mean,
I feel like I'm accosting you. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. I mean, I suppose that mostly they were maybe a little bit more forthcoming with you about the dynamics within the group, but still nothing that's going to help us track down where exactly this Requiem character went.
Did we see someone leave the chamber? Or was it just like kind of...
I mean, Morin kind of bamfed out.
Right.
But aside from that, no.
Did they say what Kay looked like?
Just said that she was a half-elf.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, how is that spelled?
Just
Half.
Just K-A-Y.
ELF.
And a silent half before it.
Half elf, I can work with that.
Oh no.
Boy, will you.
Okay.
So
I forgot to ask about where Requiem could have gone, but we can still go in and ask them.
Well, I think, Alric, did you ask them that?
They said that they didn't know.
Which I don't necessarily think that they're going to tell us something different.
Me neither.
But if you were going to dabble in blood magic, where would you hang out?
I mean, we already have people kind of turning over some of the seedier parts of town. So, alternatively, I mean, could be there's some. We've been focusing within the town, thinking that they probably would have wanted to blend in here, but it's also possible there's some shacks on kind of the outskirts of town that we haven't gotten to yet. That's a possibility as well. It's also possible that they've left the area entirely. We have guards on the gates now, checking as people leave, but no dice on that yet.
Well, do we have permission to go out of the city and look, since we're on the manhunt?
We'd appreciate it if you came back afterwards, but yeah.
To do what? I mean, I'm sorry. I know that sounded, but I mean, like, why?
Look, I'm hoping to have all of this wrapped up by the end of the day, and then you can go wherever you wish. But until then, I have to answer to the rest of the council about where our 4-star witnesses went off to, so...
We actually were moon witnesses, but it's pretty close.
Right.
Yes. Okay, that's fine. I just every time you guys say don't leave, it sounds really ominous, right? Like if you said what you just said from the beginning, like we just need to wrap up the case, we want to make sure we got everything from you, versus like we're in trouble. It feels different. I mean, right?
Okay. I'm sorry for making you uncomfortable.
Okay.
Okay. I think our next step is to go and look outside the city.
At the seedy places.
Mm-hmm. I think that's where we're gonna go.
I ask for very more specific directions.
I mean, that's the thing, right? We don't necessarily have them. There's, come with me. And he brings you back down and kind of brings you into what seems to be his office. It's kind of a table. There's weapons kind of scattered on various tables leaning up against his desk. There's kind of a sword that he seemed to have been in the middle of sharpening. But he goes over to a table and kind of sorts through a variety of maps that are there and pulls out one that seems to be kind of a detail map of the area. And kind of gestures towards some of the northern areas of the city where the forest kind of begins to just like kind of the very outer edges of the forest. And he says, well, there's some abandoned homesteads out around this area. People who weren't familiar enough to know that the forest can be a little bit dangerous to outsiders who tried to settle here and then found out. So places like that, kind of in this area, he gestures.
Okay. Well, I guess we can sniff out there. I mean, if that's where you think would be best used.
Well, I mean, more boots on the ground is always better. And I've got guards already going through the city itself, so.
That sounds fair. If we just need to maybe find Tofi.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, Tofi, what are you up to?
I'm on a manhunt.
Are you taking any specific actions, or are you just continuing to run through the city accosting various innocents?
I think I'm going to take another approach, since clearly
Okay.
that one with sample size 1 is not the way to do it.
Uh-huh.
I would like to try to find people who look like they might help me join a cult.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check.
Can this be an athletics check?
It cannot be an athletics check. I will let you make it a charisma investigation check.
You're using your brain muscles.
My smile muscles.
I will star guidance myself because I'm a star.
Okay.
So wait, charisma investigation is just charisma, plus us guidance. Nailed it. Gonna roll my guidance.
Oh.
4.
4. Okay.
Wow.
So working your way around the area, kind of in the general vicinity of the high altar, which is kind of the general catch-all term for large places of the largest place of the main church.
You
in a city.
described it as the tallest building I've seen yet.
It is. So.
Oh no.
Working your way around through that area, you do eventually you find somebody who is wearing a hooded cape, who has it kind of pulled very far forward over their face, and you're like, fuck yeah, this is what a cultist looks like. And you kind of come up and have a very intense conversation with this person, and they seem very they're very silent and stoic, exactly the way that you would expect a cultist to be. And then you kind of move forward a little bit and you nudge into them, and it falls over and you realize it's just a mannequin that has a cloak on it.
Touche. I take the cloak.
Okay, you pick up the cloak. It is just kind of a basic traveler's cloak, and you swing it about your shoulders, and as you do so, the shopkeep of the shop that the cloak belongs to comes out as this kind of slightly harried looking human woman. She says, "What are you doing with that?"
I was talking to it and now I'm putting it on.
Okay, well stop that unless you're gonna pay for it.
How do I know if I'm gonna pay for it unless I put it on?
That's not really how that works. Are you buying it?
I am sorry, I am not familiar with your wild and weird customs of just selling clothing without trying it on. I will trade you this pineapple for it.
It costs 5 silver.
Pineapple.
No, 5 silver.
The stool for the mannequin.
But you give the cloak back.
Pineapple for the cloak. If it helps at all in this process, I don't really want either of them.
Then give them back.
I don't have the mannequin yet. I pick up the mannequin. All right.
Give that back.
Stool for the mannequin?
But I thought you said you didn't want the mannequin.
I don't. But
mannequin for the cloak.
So give it back.
But you clearly want it, so it must have value.
Yes, it's mine.
Okay. Pineapple for the mannequin.
No, you just give it back to me.
Well, that's not a very good deal.
You took something from me that doesn't belong to you. And now I want to give it back.
All right. I can see we're at an impasse here in this business negotiation.
It's not a business negotiation, you're just stealing.
Just the head of the mannequin for the pineapple.
I don't have a pineapple.
No, I have the pineapple.
So you're going to give me both the mannequin and the pineapple?
No, I want the head of the mannequin. You can have the rest. It'd be cumbersome to carry anyway.
If I let you take the head of the mannequin and take the pineapple,
deal.
will you give me the rest of it back?
Yeah, I don't want the cloak.
Great.
So I can have
this chaotic evil.
So I can have the head of the mannequin then.
If you give me the cloak and the rest of the mannequin and that pineapple. She takes the pineapple in one hand and kind of makes you put the remainder of the mannequin back down and then takes the cloak. No, please go away.
All right.
The
pineapple is like 3/4 eaten, by the way. All right, so now I have a mannequin head. I will add that to me. You guys are like off talking. I'm collecting useful things. How do you spell mannequin? Many cans. Many cans head. All right, and hi guys. What have you been up to? I've been searching the city.
As you approach, Edom is pointing a finger in your direction and says, Tofi, come over here. But he's really far away and his voice sounds really close. And I just cast message trying to find you. And you immediately walk into my field of vision. You can reply. I'm testing something out.
I can hear you!
Woohoo! That was really loud. Remind me not to do that with Tofi again. Okay.
All right.
This is going well.
I have some great news.
What's that?
I have not found the cultist yet.
That's good. But we are trying to find the cultist. I'm glad that
Me
you didn't
too.
have to confront them on your own.
Right. It would have been fun.
Seems like more than a one satyr job, but I'm not sure.
You've never seen more than one satyr in a place at the same time. It doesn't stack up like the rest of the people. But I do have this.
And you see in Tofi's hand a roughly hewn, head-shaped piece of wood where somebody looks like they've kind of gouged out vaguely eye-shaped kind of impressions in it. And somebody has drawn a large toothy grin on it in kind of charcoal.
Oh, I didn't do the grin. Well, it was a manhunt, and you'd be awful disappointed if I came back without a man. Hi.
Okay, are you gonna come with us now?
I mean, I got it for you.
No, you didn't.
I know, but it'll make you feel better if you do.
No, I don't believe it.
Honestly, I don't have pockets. Just take it.
I'm glad we're all outside and together.
I'm not. It's your burden to bear.
All right.
Sorry to interrupt. But what I was gonna say inside, when we couldn't say it earlier, is that I think that Requiem might be going to that city that we saw on the map, the one that's not on the map anymore.
Yeah,
but apparently it's back now.
But we can't leave yet.
There are 7 tieflings in the city that aren't cultists, at least.
Did you find all of them?
No, I just did one, and then I suppose that there was probably at least 6 more that also weren't.
That's good. I've heard generalizations are good in law enforcement.
Yes, I think that that's generally true.
Actually, I'm beginning to question that assumption.
I think it's generally true.
We should go and look in the places that the garrison recommended, though.
Oh, they had places to recommend.
Yes, to the north, like by the edge of the city. Apparently there's some abandoned houses up there.
Yes.
Like, you're asking me to settle down?
No, just...
Not yet.
We're looking for someone...
Oh, okay.
You know, remember the tiefling?
Manhunt. Got it.
Yes, the manhunt. We're hunting for men in there.
Right.
Specifically one man.
I need another pineapple, but that doesn't have to be a now problem. Abandoned houses? Drox, do you know anything strategically about abandoned houses that we should know before we go there?
Abandoned houses specifically? Yeah, sort of like normal houses, with less people. We are free to break in, as there's no one there to stop us.
Crime is okay?
Crime is welcomed, in fact.
Gotcha. Less people, crime welcome. Alright, to the Feywild.
If there's anybody in there, they're committing a crime, which means we can stop them.
What about if we're in there?
Gosh.
Oh, shit.
But you said crime was welcome.
Only if we're doing it.
Alright, us crime good, them crime bad. Less people. That's all I need to know.
I'm beginning to think this is some shady business we're up to. But maybe I'm wrong.
You are.
We brought back the moon.
We did do that.
You're easy to convince.
That means that we're allowed to do crime now.
I'm pretty sure in that moment I could have changed your entire worldview and you would have been right for it.
Gosh.
Anthea was very, very sheltered. So one good deed totally works.
It's a 1-to-1. If you do one good deed, you get to do one crime.
Manhunt.
Oh my gosh.
Abandoned houses. Because there's one place to find people, and that's abandoned places.
Well, but it's abandoned houses are sometimes, I think, where people would hide out, right?
I don't know.
That seems, from what I know of the prime material, I think that's what they call it. That seems
The
right.
prime directive.
From what I know, the prime directive in mating homes is a good idea.
All right. Is it this way?
It's north.
That way.
Please come with me. Us.
The tongue-in-cheek political metaphors
Oh,
are
nice.
rife tonight.
Does everyone want to race to get there?
No.
Tofi, I'll race you.
All right, I'll carry you so you can keep up.
Okay, that sounds good.
Whee! Oh my god.
Okay.
Droxo, can we just like walk?
I look back to see if they're going in the same direction we are.
I don't know, which direction are you going in, Tofi?
We can walk. Though I
Oh,
worry
no.
what they're gonna get up to.
Right, but I'm never gonna catch up to her.
Well,
Southwest.
you could run faster.
Tofi's running south again.
Are you guys headed north?
see them.
Do you know which
A
way is
broken
north?
compass.
Yes, we're headed north.
Okay, I do
Yeah.
turn around after about 200 feet, and
I don't
You
think
have
I've
keen
gone
mind,
anywhere.
Casey.
no,
think
I
I've-
have keen observed my other people that know where they're going.
I have a magnet in my head that leads me where I want to go.
I have an 18 wisdom. I can figure this shit out.
That's true.
Right, so
Your checks is
guys
really
turning back around, heading north, you do come to kind of the somewhat of a roadblock where the guards just seem to be. There's not a huge amount of traffic on this road at the moment, but just kind of watching people. You can see them just kind of like check you over, so you don't have a cart with you or anything like that. They just seem to glance over you, just making sure you're not tieflings, and then just kind of wave you past.
Nope, just a satyr carrying a pixie, jumping and frolicking.
We're tourists.
And then you guys kind of come out. You can see off in the distance, probably about a mile off, what looks like the edges of the forest. So how would you all like to go about this?
Well, I'm looking very intently from Tofi's bounding coils of hair and horns.
Do you
So
want
whatever I can see in between.
A higher viewpoint?
Oh, I could go on top of your head, but I was worried about the horns.
Oh no, we can go much higher than that.
Oh no.
Wait, no, wait.
I would like to jump as high as I can!
All right, Tofi, how high are you gonna jump?
Well, how long does this last?
Oh no.
Only 1 minute. How did these characters die? All
I
right.
gave my wings expressly for this purpose.
I will just try to jump normally up. Assume I'm
Okay.
running though.
Okay. I am always assuming that.
Gotta go. All right. Well, let's take
Gotta go
a mirthful leap here. All right. So I jump 9 feet up into the air.
All right, and as you guys see, far in front of you, the shape of Tofi leaping high into the air, her strong satyr legs flexing underneath her, and Edom just like holding on for dear life to her hair.
This little green speck.
Yes, I know. And then comes back down in a puff of dust, although she does not seem to take any bludgeoning damage from this.
Do we see anything? Anything up there? Anything purple?
Make me a perception check at
Okay.
disadvantage. At disadvantage.
Wait, can I help? Because I'm looking too.
You can make your own perception check at disadvantage.
Okay. You mean this isn't ideal for surveillance?
No, stop.
Get wrecked.
That's
23.
Oh my gosh. There's nothing I can do that with.
It's because Tofi is so
Oh my
used to
God.
doing this. So leaping up into the air and peering around, you
9 feet tall.
360
Leaping
no
up.
scope.
looking around, you do catch
rolled
sight of what seems to
persuasion.
be a bit.
Please no.
It didn't work either way.
How
did I get that confused?
So they both start with P. Toby, so leaping up, one thing that you do notice at the peak of your jump is that off a bit in the distance, there you do see what seems to be a place where the long grass kind of on the verge of the road seems to divide, maybe like 50 or 100 feet off. And there is what looks like the beginnings of like a hunter's trail or something like that, just like not a very well marked or well traveled area, but definitely what seems to be like there's enough people that have gone to wear down the grass down to dirt, and so there's a little bit of a trail of some kind.
All right. When I land, I will take out Edom and sort of hold him in front of me so he can feel like he's flying, like he's an elderly owl, bat or something.
I love that video.
Just hold him out and make him pretend he's flying, and I'll hop and hop.
He looks a little greener than usual.
Oh, connecting with nature.
So
there's a path.
I think we found it. Toby found it.
Okay. Are you gonna stop for us to? Panthea's like all her like items and tokens jangling a little bit, like waiting to catch up.
I'll go to the edge of the path and then I'll just sit there jumping.
It's your idle animation. So you guys catch up with them. There's this path seems to wind through the grass, heading in the general direction of the forest.
Yeah,
that seems like a good path for a manhunt to go down.
Oi. Do you think I should name it?
Not yet. Let's see if we come back first. Well, you can do it now, actually.
Always good to put off things until you're not dead.
Yes.
That got me through most of my schooling.
So, what are you guys doing?
I'm trying to...
Should we go quiet or loud? Most people expect you to come in quiet, but what if we came in really loud?
If you come in loud, things can run away.
Yeah, they get scared.
No, they can't. I mean, honestly, right? If it's running away, then we know it has a reason to run away, and we've already learned something. If we show up there and they play cool, and we don't, talk to them as good as we possibly could, then we don't know if they were going to run away or not. Drox, tactically speaking?
I think if we go in and they know we're coming, they probably know more about what we don't know than we know.
So if
we come in there...
If we don't know what they know that we don't know, then how can they know that we don't know that they don't know what we know?
Well, I think since we haven't found them yet, they're pretty darn clued in that we don't know what's going on. So if we act like we know what's going on, we go in there, and they know that we don't know what's going on.
No, you're getting it all wrong. If we go in there and we don't know where they are, and they find us, and they'll be like, they don't know that we're here, so they must not know. But the second they spring on us that we don't know, we just say, well, we knew that you didn't know that we knew.
So does that mean we should go?
And then they'll be on the back foot. They don't expect us to know that.
While this is all going on, I'm letting them talk. I've put my hand on Drox's shoulder, and I have sent my cat out to scope ahead.
Distraction tactics. I love it. Or Droxtraction tactics.
So Hex goes scampering out ahead of you. At this point, you guys are probably like, you've been walking for a little while, having whatever that discussion was. And so at this point, you are probably 200 or 300 feet off from the edge of the forest. And so Hex goes scampering off down the path. What exactly would you like Hex to be doing?
I want Hex to look for any of the, like I said, we haven't seen any of these houses, correct?
No, you have not seen anything.
Okay.
It's just the forest.
So to look for any signs of like houses, or kind of just to sniffing for other humanoid, people, like kind of like looking.
You're trying to pick up a trail.
Yeah.
All right. And then
houses.
Cats. Or do cats have the keen senses?
I think So they let me look up a cat.
Tactics.
Cat. Monster. Keen smell.
True
Advantage
sight.
on wisdom perception checks that rely on smell.
All right. Sure. So go ahead and roll me a wisdom perception check, and then another question as well. What? So you can choose between celestial, fey, or fiend. What creature type is your cat?
Oh, celestial.
Celestial. Okay.
Now that I think about it, yeah, because yeah,
That'd be
celestial.
really funny if you had a fiendish cat as a.
I think by default, all cats are creature type fiend.
It rolled to GM, but I rolled a 4.
Yes,
and an 8.
I saw it because I
Right.
So Hex kind of creeps forward, sniffing around, but does not pick up any particular scent, or rather picks up far too many scents. There's lots of little prey creatures that like to scuttle around in the grass and in the forest, and so he can't pick up any particular trail. And so at this point, Hex is coming up on the edge of the forest. Are you having him go in?
Not just yet. I think that I want to have him double back, because if he didn't see anything, or and I didn't see anything, then why wouldn't we go forward? So they're still talking.
I bet they
are. So that
does
mean we should go quietly or loud?
Or are we supposed to pretend that we don't know that we're here?
No, I think that would mean that we'd be unaware, so we'd be louder and more rude.
Oh, I should have got bagpipes.
I think that that's for a later date.
X comes back.
I think that we should go quietly in. Also because my loud isn't very loud, so it wouldn't be very good anyway.
I turn you around so that you look in my eye. I've got you.
Thank you. I feel gotten.
I'll put you here.
I'm sorry, I thought I cleaned all the soap off my skin earlier.
No, you're quite slimy.
Oh gosh. It's probably the sweat from jumping.
Alright.
Okay, so Hex didn't really see anything, so I think we're okay to go forward on the path.
High five, Hex!
We should go quietly.
Alright. Drox, we're gonna go quietly. Is that okay?
Oh my god, wait a minute.
Yeah,
that's time out. Is Pax with us?
Yeah, Pax has been following you the entire
time. Pax!
God, don't sneak up on us like that, Pax. Sheesh.
Sorry.
What do you think about all of this?
I think that all of you should never be in covert operations.
I'm trying my best.
We're gonna need a bit more of a positive attitude out of you, Pax.
I think that you guys are very, very good at being loud.
Well, then why don't we play to our strengths?
That doesn't necessarily seem wise in this situation, but I will defer to you.
All right. Well, I can be quiet.
Toby, we need to be as quiet as possible.
Okay, I get it.
You know when you have one of those bacchanals and you have to creep out because everyone has an insane headache afterwards? You have to creep out and you can't make any noise because if you do, someone will barf on your shoes or feet or hooves or whatever you've got down there. And because, you know what I'm saying? You have to be as quiet as possible.
All right.
Do it like a walk of shame, Toby.
Yes, exactly.
There is never any shame, omniscient voice. Never any shame.
Sorry.
There's shame in the mortal realm, and we need to be feeling it right now.
All right, we'll walk shamefully there. Put my head down and walk stealthily towards the house.
To be clear,
there is no house.
Well, my head is down. I don't see it.
You are standing on the verge of the forest.
Oh, why do we need to be quiet then? There's no house.
How are you guys proceeding?
I'm gonna run another 200 feet forward along the path.
Alright, you're going into the forest.
As fast as possible.
Okay, you go crashing into the forest. What are the rest of you doing?
That TikTok where they say like, imagine if we like ran everywhere instead of walking and just like run to the fridge, run to the cable, run to the TV. Yeah. I'm sticking with Panthea because I feel like she goes at a pace that I appreciate.
Abandoned. Yeah. You don't know
prepared.
where your Fae bros and Fae's hoes are now, right?
What are the other three of you doing?
We're I'm gonna be walking quietly.
Okay.
I'm not going loudly. I'm just going.
I just go. Time the fuck out. Are you Velociraptor in a satyr costume?
No, the other way around.
She's at least 3 Velociraptors in a satyr costume. Otherwise, she'd be too small.
I can go 200 feet in 12 seconds.
Holy cow.
Actually, I can go much more than that. I can go 220 feet in 12 seconds. Actually, that's not even true. It's only like half the distance.
Okay. Anybody who is proceeding quietly, please roll me a stealth check.
I am proceeding quietly enough to hopefully roll a stealth check. Please give me a chance. Little
Wait,
random
why did Dora roll stealth?
generator.
Because Pax is going quietly.
That guy's such a show-off.
I actually rolled a good. I rolled an 18.
Pretty easy for you because you're on my shoulder.
That's true. I'm being very, very quiet.
Hey, Panthea, you were being quiet, and you're noisier than me.
Okay. So,
you're pulling a Tia where you're like breathing really loud.
Cross over the line and enter under the shade of the trees. We are going to take a break.
Okay.
So that I could go and scream into a pillow for 5 minutes.
Pax is also screaming silently.
Also, because I haven't eaten anything yet tonight, so I really need to get a snack.
Well, then you should be drinking.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely help this session.
I think
it'll do something to this session.
Chaos. Cool. So we'll be right back in 5 minutes. Okay, starting now.
I was expecting you to come in and punch.
What time are we ending tonight, Dora?
We're live.
We'll probably go for like another 45 minutes or so. I wrote longer before we took a break than I meant to.
That's okay.
Okay. So, welcome back. You guys are standing on the edge of the Urinthan Forest. Tall, stately pines spreading out on either side of you, arcing upwards. Not particularly densely packed here, so you can see sun slanting down through the branches, dappling itself across the small, kind of narrow hunting trail that you have been following, that you see winding deeper into the forest. As you guys begin to creep forward, let me see. I would like Penthea and Drox, and Pax is going to roll this as well. I would like you all to roll me wisdom persuasion checks.
Can't hear you, Beth. Non-fae folk.
So, how am I gonna...
Wisdom check.
Are you proficient in persuasion?
No, I'm a wizard.
Penthea, are you proficient in persuasion?
No, but my charisma's higher than my wisdom, so that's why I was wondering.
Okay, but it is going to be wisdom.
Okay. So just straight up wisdom check.
Wait, what are you rolling? Wisdom
persuasion.
Wisdom persuasion.
I'm not drinking beer really fast, by the way.
18.
Our glasses are all in the dishwasher, and I need water. Disclaimer.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Wait, did you fill a...
It's a glass beer bottle. It's okay.
Take the girl out of college,
funny.
But you can't take the college out of the girl.
This is for Pax. Okay. Noted. So as you guys continue deeper into the forest, this trail becomes kind of progressively more and more overgrown as you creep kind of more and more quietly through, mostly not really disturbing the wildlife. You can hear the tweet of birds up in the branches, occasionally the scuttle of something small through the undergrowth. And are you guys just going to keep walking until you run into something, or...
I do think, yeah, but I want to be on the lookout, like, you know, like through the trees. Do I see any, you know, like structures or, you know, signs that anybody else has walked this path?
All right. Roll me a perception check.
That is a 16.
Okay. Sorry, just making a quick GM roll.
I can tell you rolled a 1.
You can see the reflection of the rolls in our glasses.
Okay.
Now she's like, can you?
I have an anti-reflective coating on my glasses.
I can definitely see reflections in your glasses.
Yeah, but not as much as you could if I didn't have it. So with a 16, you do see, as you guys kind of creep through, about 30 feet ahead of you, you do see what looks to be a clearing opening up, kind of some large rocks scattered here and there, some trees kind of shading it, and at the far end of it, so on the other side of it, a good almost 100 feet off, there is a ramshackle looking structure.
There's a house up there. Or there's a ramshackle looking structure up there.
These are the words that the mysterious narrative voice in my head said.
Well, I have to say that's expected.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we came to see.
All right. Do we just knock? Surround the house, burn it down?
No, I think we look to see if there's somebody there, right?
Somebody there, yeah.
So we could be sneaky about it still, or we could just go up to the door.
I think sneaky is good.
just jump into it?
Can I?
Drox, can she?
She can do anything she sets her mind to.
That's not true. I got very badly hurt last time somebody told me that.
But you did it, didn't you?
I did. You're not gonna stop me this time. Alright. I can enter through the top. If we surround all sides and all pincer in together, it'll be like that time those crabs cornered the squirrel.
There's not many squirrels at the ocean.
I know. It's because there's a lot of crabs.
Okay.
I don't make the rules. Alright. I think it's very important that whatever happens, we all make sure that we're still friends.
We're friends?
Yeah.
Duh.
I thought we were just...
Acquaintances.
Yes. It's been a night.
I mean, here's the thing. We all got tattoos together, and we have a friend that won't show us his face. So this is like the tightest friend circle I've ever had. I mean, I just hung out with my moms before. You guys are like my first friends.
See?
I've never had friends either, but that's because no one is technically friends with a prince.
Drox, semi-normal earlier life friends?
Yeah, I had friends. I'm not a fucking weirdo.
Alright. Well,
Look, I wanted friends. They're a bit hard to come by when you're imminent royalty.
Right, can't you just buy friends if you're that rich?
Yeah.
Not if you're any kind of a good person or anything.
So don't be a good person.
There's no
Come on,
reason to
it's not that
But-
difficult.
I'm very concerned about all of you.
Max, do you have
You
friends?
shouldn't be concerned about me.
Yes,
I'm
I have
perfectly
friends.
normal.
See, he's got friends.
He's
He
not a
wears a
fucked
mask.
I mean,
Here's the
we
thing.
apparently all have friends now. If we're all friends, like Tofi
Well,
said.
are we saying that? Are we ready to commit to that sort of level of commitment?
I mean, do we need to take another blood oath? And she gets her knife out.
Well, the thing is that there are contracts
escalated.
and there are.
I squat.
Quiet. I'm sorry. Let's actually
A
just
poop oath?
go to. Golly, can you imagine if instead of blood oaths being the contract, the binding contract of choice, it was a poop oath? Can you imagine that? Hold hands and
Just
together.
Just the traditional shit oath.
I think the problem is that I can't imagine that.
All right,
Right.
so you guys are standing 30 feet off from this, clearly having an argument with each other.
We're not having an argument. We're making friends.
Okay, sorry. Sometimes
Damn.
they can be very similar.
Omniscient voice. All right. So are we friends or not?
Yeah, we're friends.
Okay.
This is the closest I've ever had a relationship
Fine.
with people that are roughly within a decade or two of me and my age.
Okay. All right.
Awkwardly worded.
I'll go on the roof, and you guys can figure out the rest of it. I'm gonna jump onto the roof.
Can we get to position?
Okay, just I really cannot overemphasize this. The building is 130 feet away from you.
All right. I'll run and then jump on the roof.
Okay.
Can we get to it first, though? Before you jump on the roof?
Don't make me make a 130-foot jump, Dora.
I will stay in.
Okay, just to
The
be clear,
woods.
if you are running, you are not stealthy.
Well, but I'm running. I don't need to be stealthy
Okay.
if I'm running.
So Tofi is tensing to take a running leap. What are you guys doing in these last moments?
I'm going around in the woods so that I'm on like still in the woods, even if that's far away from the house.
About
I'm trying
130
to
feet.
round. Yeah, I'm trying to round so I can come straight from the woods to another side of the house. If that makes
I
sense.
will go do the same, but to the other side.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like
I'll take
Yes.
the
there's a
front.
Yes.
clearing and
You're-
I'm coming
yeah.
around.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
And Drox, what are you up to?
I'm following Penthea.
I think
I trust her.
Oh, good. Maybe Pax can go with
Tofi.
Adam.
Oh yeah.
Toby doesn't need anyone at the front with her. She's got it handled.
Pax trails behind you, Edom. The rest of you begin quietly creeping through the forest, and then Tofi goes tearing out from the tree line towards the building. You hear a startled noise, a crash, and then a flare of bright light comes from the inside of the building, and then the door blows off as an enormous creature shoulders its way through the doorway with 3 heads, one of which is a tiger, one of which is a goat, and one of which looks suspiciously like a dragon. And I would like everybody to roll initiative.
Oh my gosh.
Just one asshole.
You ready to have... It's not a reverse chimera.
It is not a reverse chimera.
Oh, thank goodness.
Just a regular one.
That's good.
Do we have a MARP?
Yes, give me just a second.
Marp.
Right. Clear in the turn order.
Can chimeras fly?
I don't know, can they?
Yes, they can. No, they can't. They're a huge creature.
They're not a huge creature.
They are according to the battle map.
Oh. So they are.
They're a huge creature to me.
Now they're a large creature.
Perfect.
It does have wings, though. Does it have wings? Does this one have wings?
Right, where would we be?
This one does have wings.
If I was sneaking over here, like around the...
Pax, his hit points has not reset.
Come on, Pax.
So yeah, you guys. So if Penthea is up here in the tree line, then I guess you guys would be down here. Over here is where the house is. It's just not on this map.
The tiny pixie has 12 more hit points than I do.
Oh my gosh.
50% more hit points.
How did that happen?
I don't know. Maybe somebody prioritized Constitution instead of trying to make a build that was just optimized to jump as far as possible.
I see.
But I am very wise.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, that was not...
Oh yeah, initiative now.
Oh yeah. That's the thing.
Oh dang, that's my third 18 tonight. Wow.
Oh yeah. Go fast, get high initiative. That's the way it works, people. The slower you are moving when initiative is rolled, the lower your initiative roll will be. It's science.
All right. So Tofi, you are first up as this enormous creature flies out from the building. What would you like to do?
Flying? Does it have the capacity to fly?
It is currently on the ground. It does seem to have arcing leathery wings.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright. Maybe it wants to be friends.
It looks like it would like to eat you. It is salivating looking at you.
Salivating? That sounds dangerous. Alright. It's got a ram's head, so we're gonna leave that one alone. That's a little too close to home. I am going to how close am I? 75 feet. I will kind of skitter to a stop in a cloud of dust and then assume hero pose. And swing my arm around like this until the star energy gets going and then goes and shoot a star guiding bolt out of my hands.
Okie dokie.
At the doohicker. Which will be an attack roll, which I will find. Wow. 22.
22 will hit.
All right.
Wow.
Wow.
Alright, for 14 points of radiant damage, and the next attack against it has advantage.
Okay. Counted 4. See one of the heads kind of yelp. The ghost kind of like rocks it back on its heels briefly, and then the lion's head roars.
And I will wave my arms at it and go, "Here, kitty, 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 kitty," and then I'll start backing up. To oh, hold on. Alright. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. To there. I think that'll be fine. End turn.
Okay. Brings us to Pax's turn.
I actually rolled an 18, and I'm not sure why it's not. I rolled from D&D Beyond, and
it was probably
selected.
Okay. I will.
I don't know what happened.
Well, we can fix this. It is Edam's turn, actually.
My map has disappeared.
Oh no!
On forever.
I just have a big gray screen.
Also, Casey, we're not on the right screen for the stream either.
Well, we are now.
Refreshing.
Magic.
We're okay.
All right. I am going to point my little finger, my little green and yellow finger, and I'm going to cast Ray of Sickness at this creature.
Okay.
I've never seen before and don't know the weaknesses of, so this could, not sure how it's going to go. A 19 to hit.
A 19.
That is a DC 14 Constitution save.
A 19 does hit.
Okay.
So that's 8 points of poison damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I will account for that. And then a con save. Constitution.
Oh, dang. Okay,
Shitty.
so it's poisoned until it's next, or until my...
Can you post the actual text of that spell?
Yeah. I'm not sure what the poison condition means, but...
I can find that out. I don't remember off the top of my head either.
It's weird that they don't
Has
have
disadvantage on
Disadvantage
attack
on
rolls
skill
and
checks.
ability checks. Ability, not skill.
And that is my turn.
All right, now it is Pax's turn. And Pax is going to go 10, 15, 30 to there. And he's going to throw a hand out, and he is going to cast Toll the Dead. Ugh. He's going to try to cast Toll the Dead.
I didn't see anything. Did anyone see it?
I can see it. Can everybody else?
Oh, it just popped up on mine. It's good.
Wisdom save.
DC 12 packs. Man.
Oof. All right, so no effect on that. All right, which brings us to the Chimera's turn. And the Chimera, Penthea and Drox, what were your stealth checks?
Pretty bad. I think let's see.
11.
11. Yeah.
14 from before.
All right, Chimera has a very high passive perception.
Oh no. This has got 6 eyes.
I believe it's pronounced Chimera.
Yep.
And it has 60 feet of fly speed. So it is going to leap up into the air and go 60 feet, landing here, kind of on top of the rock. And it is going to start out with one horn attack towards you, Penthea.
Mm-hmm.
here. You're not even in a square. Sheesh. The ultimate in evasion tactics.
So here is that. Ooh, only a 9.
Nope.
And then it's going to do a claw attack at you. It is killing it. And it has a bite attack, but the bite attack is not on the stat block that I dragged and dropped from the Roll20 compendium. So give me just a second while I look up what that is.
Is that accuracy or is that precision?
What do you mean?
If it rolls, I just mean scientifically. If it rolls the same number twice, but it doesn't hit either time.
It's precision, but not.
That's precision. Okay.
Because accuracy is hitting your target.
Right.
Roll.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I knew where you were going.
Thank
All right,
you.
so the bite attack is the same as the claw attack, so it is going to make, and I'm just going to roll another claw attack.
If you roll a 9, you win.
I rolled a 10.
It's so close.
Still precision, but not accuracy.
Gosh.
I presume a 10 also does not hit, Penthea?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
I hope that Drox is in a class that has a low number of hit points and a low constitution.
Alright, so that is the end of the Chimera's shitty turn.
It was great. I loved it.
Penthea.
Did you take an oath before this Chimera or something?
All right. As my bonus action, I am going to. How far up is that rock?
It's only about it's not even 5 feet up.
All right.
It's kind of perched on a low part of the rock.
All right. So my tentacle has a reach of 10. So I'm gonna summon my tentacle.
Not in the Chimera's space.
I know. I'm sorry.
But yes.
So I'm gonna summon my tentacle there and have it take an action to attack.
Okay.
This will be at advantage because this is the first attack roll against it.
That is true.
Oh shoot. Yep.
Oh yeah, and also all of those should have been at disadvantage because of the poison condition. It didn't hit anyway, so.
Aww.
That'll do it.
Let me just roll.
Roll for crit.
Crit, yeah. Nope. All right, so 10 points of cold damage, which also means that it is its speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Okay.
Okay. And then I am going to Eldritch Blast it.
Alrighty. I believe that is going to be at disadvantage as a ranged attack against something that is within 5 feet of you.
Okay. So 13.
13 unfortunately does not hit.
Okay.
As it goes wide.
All right.
In the face of just so many heads.
Just so many. And I am going to move back here.
Okay, it is going to take an attack of opportunity at you.
Sure. Penthea is confident because it tried 3 times.
It is going to be at disadvantage.
Oh.
An 11.
Okay.
Doesn't hit.
All right, so you still with the kind of effects of this greenish energy clinging to it, you manage to duck out of the way of its claws.
Yeah. So that is my turn.
All right, Drox.
All right. Drock's gonna sort of look over, peeking around the rock. Nobody's really around. Penthea's run off to the side. And then Drox is gonna cast. Boom. And some badass fucking claws are gonna bust out his hands.
Alright.
Oh.
And then gonna move around to here.
Alright.
Also a ferret.
Is the ferret one of the claws?
The ferret climbs out of the sleeve, over his shoulder, and into the hood.
Nice.
Alright.
That'll be all.
Tofi.
I'm gonna fuck this thing up. I will run full force at it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And I am going to make a ram attack with my face.
Alrighty.
This will be at advantage because it is flanked. Are we using flanked?
Yep. Yes.
Here it comes. 22.
22 will hit.
Right.
Dang.
So that's 6 points of face damage. And how does monks work? Hold on. I've never monked before. I can make unarmed strikes as a bonus action?
I believe you does the ram count as an unarmed strike?
Well, it's an attack. It is technically an unarmed strike.
Because hold on, there's something in the text of monks.
I can attack ramming my face into things as a satyr.
Hold on just a second. Class features.
Actions. Ram is not an unarmed strike.
Our horns.
Oh wait, hold on. No.
When you use
unarmed strikes may deal 1d4.
So it is an unarmed strike? Because in order to make the bonus action, you have to use the attack action to make an unarmed strike or a monk weapon attack.
So that wasn't... Yeah, so attack action to make an unarmed strike of a ram.
Okay, so then you can bonus action unarmed strike as well.
Alright, so then I will bonus action unarmed strike and hit it with my head again, also with advantage. 12?
No. Fortunately not, as it writhes out of the way.
Alright. Oh, and I spend the key point to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action. Alright, and then I will scamper my little satyr butt. 40, 45, 50, 55 back to there. All with my normal movement. And I guess that'll do it for me.
Alright, eat him.
Alright. I'm gonna just test this out just to see, because I do not know anything about Chimera resistances or anything. I'm gonna scoot forward a little bit, hanging onto a branch for stability and a quick stop. And I'm going to cast Firebolt at it. Okay. I don't know if this is immune to it or not. Oh my gosh.
Oh, very nice.
I only cast one of them, not 2 of them.
Oh,
so
you're rolling twice.
The first one is the one that
so
hopefully
5 points. 23 does in fact hit.
Okay. And then the poison condition goes away now on the Chimera.
The end of your turn. Anything else?
I'm not going to turn big yet, so nothing else.
Okie dokie. So Pax is going to do... And he's just going to run up to here, and that's going to be his turn.
It was a very small modifier that I cast. For Firebolt.
Right. And then...
Hurts.
Ow.
It'd be funny if you did it small and it got bigger.
That would be funny.
As it flew.
Yeah.
Alright, and so the Chimera has a 1 target at the moment, so it is just going to go all in on Drox. So, first with the lion head biting out. I know this is claws, but it's a bite attack.
All right.
Yay, crit.
All right.
Only 13 points there.
Okay, I'm going to make a Constitution save. I make it.
Nailed
All
it.
right. And then it is going to make a claw attack. One of its heavy claws. Right. 11.
I don't even need a shield. His claws are way bitchier than mine.
And then it is going to try to ram you with its ram horns.
I don't have those. Pushing shield.
All right. So that one.
My shield looks like a ferret gnashing over my shoulder to nip away anything that tries to hit me.
Its head just gets really big suddenly.
All right. So
and also, as
shield
I
abjuration.
Yes, as I use that, I now gain like a glowing. You see, sort of like the same sort of glow as my lantern, like a glowing outline sort of around myself, and that is my beautiful arcane ward.
Very nice.
Amazing.
Which is, it is 13 points. We'll mark this.
Whew. Alright, I'm not gonna bother healing you.
Back to
Alrighty.
full HP. Sort of.
Right. Kind of. Penthea.
Penthea is going to use the tentacles to attack again.
Alright, go for it.
That is a 17.
A 17 will hit.
Okay. And speed reduced by 10 feet. And then I'm going to... Let's do Witch Bolt.
Alright.
Oh, Witch Bolt. I almost took that for a different character.
Oh, sorry. It rolled twice. It's the first one.
Alright.
20.
20 does in fact hit. 12 points of lightning damage accounted for.
And yep, so I'm gonna this beam of, dark but kind of like deep ocean color shoots out from her. And she's kind of made these hand gestures that she's kind of learned from her moms and whatnot, and pushes them out. Very much, I'm realizing it looks like Doctor Strange. Anyway,
you know what? It looks cool.
That's the vibe, but it's a little more. It's the beams are a little more raw and aquatic, right? They're kind of those kind of edges and stuff. So I will mark my concentration on that. And I will back up one more space there. So
this music is so good.
That is my turn.
Shout out to Kevin MacLeod, and the track that is currently playing is 5 Armies.
Oh, there's 5 of us.
Yeah,
there are. We're all our own army.
Armies of one.
All right, Drox.
Drox, gonna start swinging.
Oh.
Excuse me. Those are bitch claws, according to you.
Gonna start swinging.
You're petting it.
Big kitty. Big scaly kitty.
Big scaly kitty ram.
Do I have any kind of bonus action available? Let me click, hopefully, on all of my spells to see.
For both.
Regret is a free action.
For both my 2 newest characters, I have no bonus actions available.
That is all.
It's so sad.
That will be my turn.
You do have Healing Word, though. Healing Word is helpful.
That ain't nothing right now.
Alright, Tofi, after having run in, slammed her head into it again, has now circled back and is doing this again. 20 feet to there. Here comes a ram attack.
Does she say anything while doing this, or is it just like that kind of sound?
It explains so much about her mental state.
Yeah, 15 hits.
Alright.
Hero would never let me do this as Dio.
6 more.
Alright.
6 more
Counted
points
for.
of bludgeoning damage, and we'll unarmed strike again. Try it again, because that's the way ramming works, I guess. 14.
14 also hits.
Alright, we're zeroing down on the armor class here. Another 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okie dokie.
And that was 20, so I could go 35 maximum back if I wanted. I'll just go 25 back. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to there.
And you have mobile, right?
I am a speedy little mobile person.
Okay.
Are you disengaging?
Nope, don't need to.
Mobile.
I am mobile. As long as I make a melee attack against something, it can't do that.
Mini swashbuckler.
The beauty in the build is revealed.
All right, Edom, you're up.
That's me. I'm going to. Weirdly enough, I have a +2 to unarmed strike, but I'm not going to go over there and punch it with my little hand. I'm going to look in their firebolt at it.
All right. Roll to hit.
13.
Unfortunately, 13 glances off.
Okay.
AC is 14, ladies and gentlemen. AC is 14.
And I'm going to actually healing word Drox. For 8 points of healing.
8 points of healing on the tank.
I think you're close enough.
Yep. 55 feet.
Just in case something terrible happens. And by terrible, I mean, you know,
Ow.
with those claws.
Horns.
Yeah, terrible. Get it?
I mean, we watched Drox's last attack. It was pretty terrible.
Oh, it's fine.
More like
In
terrible.
the future, Drox won't tank for you. Drox will just chill back, and you can suffer on your own.
I can run so much faster than you can.
Are you sure
Can you tank like Drox?
Eat him. Anything else you want to do?
Drox will be casting spells on you to slow you down in the future, such as grease.
You have grease too?
I'm a wizard. I got whatever the fuck I want, baby.
Sounds so much fun. Grease it. Make it all greasy.
I don't actually have grease.
Lies.
I have grease. Why would you make me think that you have?
Eat. Do you have
I'm a
anything else
wizard.
you're
I
doing
can
on your
get
turn?
whatever I
That's
want.
it. Oh, it's sorry. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Pax is going to jog the last few feet up to it.
Oh, Pax entering the game. Thanks, bro.
Thanks, Pax.
It's going to make 2 attacks with
buddy.
his short sword.
Keep doing what you're doing.
We appreciate you
Yup.
and your convention.
Fucking mask.
Are you sure you can see with your mask?
I seem to be hitting it just fine.
Right.
And it gives a very meaningful look at Drox.
Can't tell your expression because you have a mask on.
Doesn't know about flanking, though.
When he looks at Drox, it's between these waving tentacles.
So that's the end of his turn, and then
The weasel is also, like, wiggling as well, like, in the hood, just, like,
just tentacling up.
just wiggling with, like, the tentacles.
all right. So that's the end of that. Of his turn, bringing us to the Chimera. And the Chimera now harried on multiple sides. You see the dragon head swinging around, and then it kind of focuses down on you, Drox, and pulls itself back and unleashes a torrent of fire towards you.
Try me.
Ah.
Don't try me. No. 78.
Please roll me a dexterity saving throw.
All right. Okay.
Make your save, dude.
Wait. Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. Just counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. I think a weasel does count as an ally.
The weasel does not count as an ally.
Wait, why not?
No.
Because the weasel is not. What is? It's your familiar.
It's an ally, though.
It can't make attacks.
But it can help making it an ally.
What are you trying to do?
I know what you're trying to do. I just
Listen.
don't. What's the text on it?
So Drox doesn't like failing in front of the crew, you know, the squad. So he's got this.
Equal to the number of allies you can see within 30 feet. I feel like an ally has to be able to attack.
Never mind.
So first off,
Everybody's way further. Yeah.
Okay.
You have one ally.
Also, wait, hold on. Let's find this out there. Are familiars allies? 5e.
If you just
Familiar is an
turn your
allied
head-
creature.
the Chimera can become an ally.
Maybe
This
we
is
just
from-
make friends with the Chimera.
This is from dnd.wizards.com. A familiar is an allied creature.
Which
Okay, then I am wrong. Regardless,
So only gets
you still fail.
3.
Okay.
well,
Fine.
hold on. If you're counting it as an allied creature, then it's on the map and it's gonna get fired.
That is 40 points of
No.
fire damage. That is many 8s.
All right, hold on. Wait, let me.
Oh my god,
do
that
math.
is so many 8s.
So.
Good times.
Okay, so I am unconscious.
Don't worry.
No.
This is easy.
Easy as Drax fell out of the ground. The music stopped for Drax. Drox. I'm gonna die.
So, and with that, the Chimera is then going to leap up into the air, provoking from Pax. That is going to go after the other person who has done the most damage on it. And is going to go over here, landing here, provoking from Pax.
I was gonna say, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting
hits.
yourself.
Just 6 points of piercing. And then the Chimera is going to use, let's see. So Fire Breath replaces a bite or horns. It's going to replace the bite. So here is a horns. 19.
Will hit.
12 points of bludgeoning damage from the horns, and then a claw attack.
It can breathe fire and then use all of its attacks?
It can use 2 of its attacks.
It can breathe fire and use 2 of its attacks?
Correct.
26 hits. I'm down, probably. Yep, I'm down.
Exactly.
Oh, frick.
And it rears all of its heads back, and the lion head roars, and the dragon head roars, and then the goat head kind of bleats. But that's the end of its turn, Apenthea.
What, you mean it can't use fire again and then make 8 more attack?
No, that was the end.
Okay.
Gosh.
Okay, my tentacle is gonna move again and attack.
Okie dokie.
An 11. Gross.
11 unfortunately glances off of it.
Alright, I am gonna drop Witch Bolt and go over and touch Drox on his shoulder. And this radiant light kind of comes from me, and I'm going to healing hands for 4 hit points. So you get 4 hit points back.
Drox is coming back.
Yes, so I have healed you.
Swing.
Right. And that is my turn.
All right, Drox, that brings us to you.
Oh, I don't like going down. Drox gonna stand up, channel some of that ferret energy, and energy, chromatic orb.
Oh yes,
Second
I
level.
love that spell.
Right.
Let's go for acid damage.
Okay. Yeah. Isn't chromatic orb an attack?
I didn't attack it.
It is an attack. I don't know why it didn't. Okay, I'm gonna. It's this, but with an extra D8.
If I will hit.
Good. So that plus one extra D8.
Whew.
I can roll 8s too.
That you can.
Oh, 23.
Dang.
All right.
That's tasty.
And that abjuration spell will gain me 4 extra points on my bubble.
Oh, chromatic orb is
always chromatic orb.
Actually, wait, that probably isn't right.
That can't be right.
It's
gotta be conjuration.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's evocation.
I agree. That's wrong.
Evocation.
That's just because I filled it in. Because for some reason, chromatic orb isn't on Roll20.
It's because it's not part of the SRD.
The CERD.
Good old CERD.
Is
so yeah,
that
I will retract that.
short for standard rule description?
Sure.
Whatever you want it to be.
I think it's
Super
standard
rude.
rule document.
Okay.
Right, anything else, Drox?
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
Drox is gonna go down here.
All right. Tofi, I would like you to make a death saving throw.
20. No.
Oh no!
That was close.
All right, eat him.
That's so tense. I'm also going to Ray of Sickness this thing again.
Okie dokie.
I also forgot that since I'm an artificer, I have to use my casting focus. So he's got that little tiny jewelry hammer. It's so small. It's like a pickle fork, but smaller. And he casts out of it. So it's copper. Yes.
Okay.
14.
14 just hits.
For 8 points of poison damage. And I need a Constitution saving throw as well.
Actually, you do not. How would you like to do this?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, he's just gonna fire that sickly little green ray out of his hammer and hope that it hits. Looking afraid.
Okay.
That's it.
So
it's not very cool.
It arcs out, thudding into the center of the Chimera's chest, and the Chimera collapses to the ground in a heap.
Can I also bonus action healing word Tofi?
No, because it is a leveled spell.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
However, next round, Pax is going to go poop, and then he's going to
poop?
cast. Then he's going to cast.
We were joking about that ritual thing.
Cure wounds. Don't be kind to the person who's healing you.
Okay,
7 points
I won't.
of healing. To you as he kneels down beside you and kind of reaches out, and you see those of you close enough to see can see shadows kind of arc out from around his hand and then go and sink into Tofi's chest, just radiating blue energy.
That seems dangerous.
And with that, we will fall out of rounds as the Chimera drops dead to the forest floor. You guys stand around, panting, trying to get your breath back. The remains of this structure kind of sagging now that the Chimera blew through the front of it, kind of off behind you. But that is where we are going to end tonight's session.
Okay.
We weren't friends before. We're definitely friends now. I mean, we just slayed a big creature.
2 people have fallen down to the ground and ate dirt.
Who said that?
Right? But like, we brought them back.
Hope he's like liminally on the edge of the reality of the game. What? I can hear voices. They're saying numbers and saving throws. What's going on?
Tofi can see the Matrix.
She's jumped that high.
I'm sure.
Very good.
Gosh, what if that was Requiem and we just killed him?
Good.
Good.
I do remember him looking a lot more like a tiefling and not like a crazy 3-headed abomination beast thing.
Yeah,
but you know.
But what if he transformed?
What if he transformed? What kind of game do you think this is, Kayla?
Look, I have insight into Dora's mind, and I think this is what she has planned.
No, I think season 1 of
sure?
Supernatural is hiding inside that Chimera.
You're not wrong.
What's in the Chimera?
It's a car. It was a car all along.
It's a troubled bond between 2 brothers? Wow.
It's like, what's inside of the Chimera? Oh, just a whole lot of misogyny? That's weird.
Oh no!
What's that? Homoerotic undertones. And all of that inside a Chimera? It's crazy.
God, there's so many layers to the Chimera. Alright, well, everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. Once again, thank you to Kevin MacLeod for the wonderful royalty-free music that we use on the stream. Tonight was brought to you by Eastminster.
My favorite one.
Oppressive Gloom. What else did we play? Echoes of Time.
Final Battle of the Dark Wizards.
The Dark Wizards is what's playing right now. You also heard 5 Armies, Failing Defense, Prelude in Action. Probably a few other things as well. So thank you to Kevin MacLeod. Links down below in our description if you want to go and check out his music for yourself. It is great for all D&D games and can cover basically any genre.
If we're using Final Battle of the Dark Wizards for this fight, for the end boss fight, we're gonna get into some fucking just intense levels of description. Death battle to the doom and hell of the darkness with the big bad monster guy. 2.
In parentheses, epic.
If you liked what you saw here today, we also stream live on Mondays and Thursdays at 7:30. Mondays is Casey's campaign, which is also full of chaos gremlins. If you enjoyed that particular aspect of this campaign,
there's a lot of chaos gremlins.
There's a lot of chaos gremlins right now.
I feel like that's just where our general trend of play goes.
You can also check us Thursdays and Lions and Crows. The party is currently trying to battle their way out of hell for I think the 3rd time.
Just to see Aurelia. That's literally it. We're just trying to get out. Just the exciting conclusion.
The exciting conclusion to episode 13 of Lions and Crows.
I think having said that is bad now. I think that we're actually gonna bite the dust. Yeah.
So you can catch us there. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us here. Anybody else have any other announcements?
I just want everybody to think again about what a poop ritual looks like.
And with that,
Toby squats.
In that, we will leave you. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Rap?
Finger guns.
Oh no, I forgot about that. We're fighting a chimera. It's got 3 heads. It weaved a lot of fire. Now I'm dead. My weasel ain't happy. He's hiding in my hood. Somebody heal me. That's pretty good. Alright, there you go. End it.